Hello and welcome. The wrong button.
That's the best way for the intro back. That is the best way for the intro back.
Welcome back, everybody, to PoliticktickBOOM as we discuss all of the fun stuff that has been happening in Montana politics. And we've got 3 weeks worth of stuff to discuss because, oh my God, it's been so busy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Cari. Hi, Allie.
Oh, hey.
Hey, let's start with some news because I believe last time we did a show was right before the deadline for certain people to drop out of the races, which didn't happen as we
didn't happen,
and for people to file as run-ins write-ins. And I know that there was one person that did a write-in in the U.S. Senate race, but somebody did a write-in for Senate District 22. Is that correct?
That's correct. Cari Olson.
And that would be Miss Cari Olson, who is awesome.
Going against Data Center Danny.
Data Center Danny.
Data Danny.
Data Danny.
Dapper Danny. Well, that's just delightful. We love her.
I like that one.
Dapper Data Danny.
Right?
That's
Dapper Daddy. That's a mouthful. Dapper Daddy. Oh, I got to work on that one. I was Daddy for some reason.
I think we just need to stay with Data Center Danny.
Data Center Daddy. All right, see, there it is. There's that daddy. Data Center Danny.
There we go.
But yes, I did it. Daddy. We got it in last minute. It was stressful. The Secretary of State called me at 3:05. And they're like, well, we can't accept it now, Cari, because my check was in the mail. We can't accept it now because your check won't be here by 5 p.m. And I was like, you're calling me at 3. So luckily I had a good friend turn around and she went right up to Helena and put my money in. So by $15. So I bought Montana a line. And I think we need to talk about this for a second. I think that this needs to be talked about why that's so important. Because the Secretary of State, Christy Jacobson, took that away from us. There wasn't a vote. It wasn't a bill. It wasn't passed. And it wasn't signed by our piece of shit governor. Right?
Wait, no, it was a bill. It was a bill.
No, she used it. She used it as a launch pad off of House Bill 207, which is this sore loser bill. So what she did is that one went through and passed and got signed into law. And then she had a backdoor in her office decision that she was going to take away all the write-in lines. There was not a bill on that. It's 207, the sore loser law. And by the way, I met the lady who's the inspiration of that sore loser law. And I think she's a hero. So I love her. She's from Glendale. That's all I'm going to say. But I love her. But I met her. She was the inspiration of that bill. So I love when you meet the inspiration of the bills. But for me, with this write-in line, that is a huge, important thing that we needed. Like, she took our voice away by taking away that line. So now here's another question. I bought a line, and so did this other guy, right? So are there going to be 2 write-in lines, or are there going to only be 1? Because technically,
there should only be 1.
But why though? Who makes that rules? Who made that rule?
Because you can only write in 1 person. It doesn't matter who. There's always.
But I bought a line, and he bought a line. I mean, technically, by this new rule, I mean, it's a good question to raise. It's a good question to raise. Which I plan to raise with the Secretary.
The better question to raise is it legal for them to say, hey, you have to register to be a write-in? Because the whole point of a write-in is you didn't register.
That is true.
That's where I would challenge it, because the whole point of having write-ins was the ability for anybody to go, oh, I missed the deadline to be an official candidate on there, but I really think that I would be great in there. Or for a bunch of people to go, hey, we're going to do this because every one of these other assholes cashed checks from Quantica. So we're going to vote for somebody else. We're going to write in another person's name. And that's an important function. And what I think is interesting, because the whole concept of I bought a line, and this is new for everybody in Montana, because the ballots up until now have always included a write-in line. And the only ones that will have write-ins now are going to be the race in Senate District 22 and the U.S. Senate race.
And then there's one. Hold on, I got it. There's one in Yellowstone County with the Yellowstone County Commissioner, and I highly please write in his name. He needs, and I don't know it, and I'm gonna have to look it up. I want to say Hans Abbey. Write in his name. We need a new Yellowstone commissioner. So yes, but there's another one in Yellowstone County.
Great. Well, that's awesome. And if people are wondering who's running, I have a way to tell you. And this is a nice little segue to something that I did. Now let's see if I can remember how to do this. Share a window. Oh no, share this window because this is what I want. I am showing a new website that I built. And this website is Montana Goes Blue, which you can find at montanagoes.blue. If you go there right now, it has 161 candidates, 90 for the state house, 23 for the state senate. There are 125 seats in the House and Senate that are up for election. We have 150 seats, but Senate terms are 2 election cycles. We have 2 for the Montana PSC. You might know one of them. That would be this prick right here. And then this awesome person, Angeline Cheek, is running in District 1. Highly recommend that you vote for whichever one is in your district if you can. And then we've got the U.S. House, East and West with Brian Miller and Sam Forsag. We have 41 county positions open. So if you scroll down, there's a lot of people on here. I get to 161. It's going to go on for a while. But you get down to some of these county races, and you'll see that we have county sheriff and coroner. We have clerk and recorders. We have all sorts of fun things going on down here. And these are people that are, a lot of the county races, they are nonpartisan races, but they are known to be good people. So we have Tim Wilkie and Jacob Miles here in Lewis and Clark that are running for it. Jacob is running for the commissioner, and Tim is running for justice of the peace. But what I don't see on this list, Cari, is I don't see you. And if you look, we have this function over here called Add a Candidate. And if I do that and I do this, Cari Olson, Office Senate District
22. Oh, hey, Taylor Swift 22. I just put that together. Oh, I love that for myself. Yeah, I'm not even lying. I just did.
District 22.
22.
Area. Billings. Yeah.
Yeah, Billings.
What is your website?
To Shepherd. Montanans for Cari Olson.
For CariOLSEN.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And while I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here. And I can't find it. MONTANF Cari AOLSEN. Yeah, that's correct, right?
No, ON.
Oh, well, there you go. Cari
By the
Olson.
way, you can misspell my name on the ballot and it will still count because trust me, I wrote my name every which way there was. The first application, I think we should talk about because it was really funny.
Cool.
I thought I could get bit.
You don't have a donation link up yet? Or do you?
Mm-mm.
Do you have an actual link? Okay.
Not yet.
Do you have a Blue Sky account?
I don't. I haven't even thought of that.
Do you have an Instagram account?
I'm not good on Instagram, but I can get good on Instagram.
Do you have a Threads account? If you don't have Instagram, you might not have that.
I don't have Threads. Oh, wait, what's that? Okay,
Threads is tied to Instagram. So if you sign up for Instagram, you'll get that. Do you have a YouTube account yet?
Yeah, I have a YouTube.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, no, not for this. I don't.
Oh, okay. Twitter? No. TikTok?
Yep, TikTok.
What is your TikTok account?
Montanans for Cari. So it's MTN. Will it come up like as you type it? MTN. Yeah, 4, the number 4, and then CARI. Power with an I.
That connects correctly. Nope.
It doesn't.
Do you have
like
any videos
me?
on there yet? MTNS.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an S?
No. Montana. Can you search for Cari? Would that work? I'm like way up on that camera.
Let's see if we can find it this way.
I'm not good at like this. Like I'm not. You know what I mean? This is not where I shine.
Well,
And it's not your
here's the fun
Just
part.
One Woman
Because
account.
you've
Cari,
just been doing
on TikTok?
all of this stuff.
I don't want to. I put one purposely out for the campaign.
Okay, so there's a separate one. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, we can do
Okay.
just one woman. I mean, that's what I mean, honestly, I'm just doing the same things.
Right.
But
Okay,
no,
so here's
not
the
on this one because I want this one to be a PC.
Right. So we can do all the things that are in here, and if you have them, great. If you want to do them later, you can. We're just going to do submit for review.
Okay, perfect. Who's going to be reviewing me? Who's going to be? I feel like I'm being reviewed.
That would be me.
Am I getting reviewed? Am I good?
Hold on. Let me go in and see what I've got.
I don't even have it. Yeah.
So if I do that and I reload the page, I can go into the top. Oh, let me see. Recompile the site.
Well, I think, Kevin, don't you have like a menu bar where you can skip to whichever race you're interested in?
She's right here. I just typed in CAR. She's right here.
I am going to be sending this to my mom. She will be so proud. Frankie will be so proud.
And if she has a picture, she can submit it. All they got to do is hit this edit button. It gives you all the fields. If they do the picture, they do choose file and submit this photo. It is separate from the other one. And it'll tell them, oh, that photo's there. And that's all there is for it. So
okay. This is wonderful. So I love this.
Yeah. So I'm going to add in another tag that'll say it's a write-in. And then I'm going to see about making actually a card that says, hey, remember to write in, so that you can download that for people that are going through and looking at the people that they want. I also kind of want to do it as a pick the people that you're voting for sort of thing and just print it out as a ballot for you. But I haven't had the time to go through and build that yet. So
I would love to have this ability to build a website. It is not within my, I'm working on it.
Well, it is one of those things where I've been building websites since, let's see, I just started Ham on Rye in 2004 and, oh my God, 2003. And the first website that I actually built was for a hotel that I worked at in 1996 on GeoCities, because I was a moron and that's all there was. So I'm still pretty decent at using some frameworks and coding some stuff up, but I will tell you that I fire up my local copy of a coding AI agent to clean up my inability to close tags, because I just like semicolons. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like AI isn't really the problem, but I'm not using a data center for it. I'm literally using a local copy of an AI, although a data center was used to train it at some point. So it's not like I'm clean on that at all. But I think that's one of the useful cases for AI. I'm not using it to steal from artists. I'm not using it to do any of the rest of that stuff. In fact, one of the things that we ran into, because I was in a pickle and I needed something done right away, and my normal graphic designer wasn't available. And I had put stuff out and I was just like, I'm just going to throw this together. It looked like crap. So then I threw the image into AI just to see what I would get. And that looked like crap as well. And then I got calls from, and this was for Pride stuff. I got calls from a couple members of the community and they're like, hey, instead of doing this, would you hire members of the community that are artists? And I was like, I'd fucking love to, but I've put out calls before and not gotten anybody. So the most useful thing that AI has ever done has caused people to reach out and go, hey, can you hire a person to do this? And I can say yes. And now Pride has a new program that they're doing, and every year they have an artist in residence now. Because I used to do all the artwork for Pride. What a night! Because I am not an artist. I'm sort of like, oh, that's a font. But we always have a new pin. We have a new T-shirt. We have generally designs for like fans and stuff, and then we have all the artwork that goes into all the different events that we do. And I was doing all of it for many, many years, and it was okay. It was not great, but it was okay. But now we have an artist in residence program where they're getting paid a stipend every month. It's not a lot. It's only $350. But they are responsible for all the artwork, and it's Alana Sky out of Billings that is our first artist in residence, and she is phenomenal. The stuff that we've gotten from her has just been great. So she gets to do the Show Your Pride Inside sticker, the new pin for the year, the T-shirt for the year, all that stuff. Because we change it every year. And mostly I do that because the idea that Montana Pride would be this thing that would be consistent all the time seems really boring, especially because Montanans have, what are the two things that Montanans fucking care about when it comes to anything? It's the shape of the state and 406. It's like, so if you do those, in some format, you're going to run out of it's kind of boring after a while. But we have our standard, our base logo is the one that I actually have on my shirt. And that can be used for just about anything, but also we have different ones that we do every year. And like, not this past Pride, which was just last month. No, it was this month, but it was earlier in the month. Feels like it was forever ago because it was like 9 months long. But last year, our Pride was the state shape, but with a pink triangle in it, and the bottom line of the state said "Now louder" for the bigots in the back. Because that was my
Oh,
sub.
I want one of those. That is awesome.
I have some still. They are from Bad Betty's. So they do have the Bad Betty's logo on the back, which is a barbecue place that is here. Well, used to be right next door. But I will get you one of those because that was my favorite one. This year was a little bit nicer because it just had the circle around it that said, "Just checked, still here, still queer, let's dance." Which we did for the pin, which we did for everything. So
I love that one.
You know, it's really fun, and I really like the idea of having an artist in residence that does something, because then it's going to have a little bit of different flavor every year. Because I can tell you, 12 years of doing Pride is a lot, and especially through the pandemic and all the things that we had to do to change stuff and still make it accessible to people and have things available, and it was so much to do. I'm really proud of what I did. But also, I'm really happy to be done. So, handing that off. But yeah, the bad things that AI does is basically it steals work from people who deserve better. The good thing that AI does is it can clean up the boring shit. Like, it should be doing dishes and like closing code. Like, when it looks at my code and goes, you probably need a closing bracket here so that this makes sense. Yeah, great. Put that in. Thank you. That's good. That's good use of AI. Bad use of, if it could do dishes, that would be an amazing use of AI. If it could fold fucking laundry, I would love to get rid of my wardrobe, but I don't have the time. So it would be great if it could do that. But like doing art, writing prose, writing a book, no, fuck you. Like that it shouldn't even be an option. It's so it's so terrible. But also, it leads to the construction of data centers. And I don't know, Cari, if you've ever heard of data centers.
No, what are those?
Or what they are. Huh? Or how bad they could be for the world at large.
Here's what I want to say. Here's what I was thinking. I've been thinking about this. Well, you're on TikTok, so we're using a data center. We're using it. You can't avoid AI. You just can't. And the billionaires have this way of making us feel so damn guilty for our everyday life, right? Things that we can't avoid. Guess what? I didn't freaking call TikTok and be like, I want you to use AI components. I didn't write my local water department and say, hey, I want you to start using the AI components because our water rates will be better. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the average American didn't do that. And these billionaires have a way of always messaging against us and always making us feel guilty and holding us down. And so I'm not, me being on this TikTok and my little that I've used AI for, purposely for, is nothing compared to what the corporations and the government is doing and all this other crap. So like, I want to just take the guilt out of that. These are not getting
Cari, and let's look at it from to add on to exactly what you're saying. The new data centers, these things already have data centers that are up and running. Like, we're already there on these apparatuses.
5,400.
The new data centers that are way bigger and that they're bringing in, they're not for TikTok. They're not for, I don't even think they're really for LLMs. They're for surveillance. They're for military weaponry. And so I think it's important that we make that distinguisher too, is that I have gotten that many times. Well, you're on the internet, so you're using it right now. This is true. But also, this is not where a 5,000 acre data center, in Broadview, Montana, is going to be running TikTok. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And so I think that there is a big distinction there that people need to make, and I think it's good that you called out the fact that they have a way of like pushing the blame onto us. Well, it's your fault because you like these things. It's your fault because you do these things, and you're never going to get to do these things if you don't let us build all the data center. And none of that is right. None of that is
I have to
true.
tell you one thing. Quantica has the exact freaking commercial that you just said. If we don't build this data center, you can kiss your TikTok, your Netflix. I mean, it's so propaganda. I was doing a lot of research over them this weekend, but that's their message, and that's on their LinkedIn. So Big Sky Infrastructure or Quantica, that's their commercial, and it's a high quality commercial. I mean, fucking sit and sip in, but it's a high quality commercial.
Well, and it's the same tactic that billionaires and large corporations have used forever. Gas has fought against, climate change, and then as soon as they were forced to do it, they're like, oh, well, people should drive less. Oh, people should recycle more. Plastics are a problem of the people, not a problem of the institutions. I'm like, no. Also, I have a question for you. This one bothers me. We keep calling it fossil fuels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of us think about it, and there's a whole thing about, runs on, like, in fact, I think I have a sticker around here somewhere that, powered by dinosaurs on a gas car. But they're not. And I think, and I need to check with this with a couple of friends of mine. One of my good friends is an archaeologist out of Missoula, and he'd be close to it, but I really need somebody that's a geologist because
Archaeo Wolf, I love that guy.
Yeah, Morgan is great. I am pretty sure that all the oil comes from when there were trees, but there was no bacteria to break them down. And so trees would die and fall over, and then they would get compressed, and that became oil because that was carbon trapping. But because once there was bacteria to break that down, it just becomes dirt. It becomes mulch, just like it does today. So there wouldn't have been these large pools of oil. So we're not actually burning fossils. Like, they never became fossils. It was just the first trees. So basically, we're combusting ants.
All that to say that. But no, you got me going down a good rabbit hole. I'm going to show the difference of the energies that they're using: the coal, the fossil fuel, the nuclear, which is now back on the table thanks to 2021 session. I think that's a good thing to point out at the meetings. Oh, I'll be in Helena, September 19th.
Hey, Helena.
Hey, now.
Hold on, September 19th?
Yeah.
I'm opening up my calendar.
I don't know the location just yet.
Well, you guys are doing that. I think it's interesting also to mention that Try Hard Timmy weighed in on data centers this week and called it the communist leftist agenda to shut down data centers. First they shut down timber, and then they shut down mining, and then they shut down our factories. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and he did the same thing. He's like, you're never gonna get to watch Netflix again.
Porn.
And
wait, he said that? Like, he said you're never gonna be able to watch Netflix again? Yeah, see, they're all. I'm telling you, Quantica is so fucking dirty. They're so dirty, and he got to pay. Allegedly, Jess Peterson got a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? I always have to say allegedly just to protect your ass. But I hear like that whole post was so like, the paycheck has arrived, bitches, and I don't care about re-election. That's what I read into it. Allegedly.
Here's what's really cool about that also, right? So we had Try Hard Timmy, and he's weighing in on how it's the communist leftist agenda to shut down data centers. And then we have Ken Bogner and out of Texas, Greg Abbott. And he
is on his knees begging for forgiveness.
Sorry, who else? Ken
Bogner out of somewhere eastern Montana.
I
don't know.
Yeah, Miles City.
Yeah, I was like somewhere over
what
there.
Did he
I don't know where, but he basically parroted what Greg Abbott said, which was, it didn't have to be like this. Data centers brought this on themselves. All we were asking for was transparency. We just wanted you guys to play it straight and not surveil us, not steal our data, not do all this stuff, right? So
I'm just like, I'll be calling you, Ken. Get ready.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
well, so Greg Abbott, right? Like, this is an about face for him,
Governor Hot Wheels.
and I think it's just in response to the midterms because he billed Texas as the data center state,
Our hub.
and he allowed a
Yeah.
shit ton of them to come in, and now,
Yeah.
of course, the power is suffering because their grid was already shit to begin with, and then on top of that, the water, they've got a lot of drought and all these kinds of things, right? And then you turn around.
Corpus Christi is going out of water. They're going dry.
Mhm.
That is a major U.S. city that does not have water.
Well, we're going on what, 2.5 weeks that Gary, Indiana doesn't have
Yeah.
any electricity because they haven't fixed their grid there.
But
That's
those
cool.
data centers are
If
running.
I were on the PSC, or I guess it's the PUC for Indiana, if I was on their PUC, I would have the executives from that electrical company in front of me ASAP and start
Immediately.
explaining to them, we will not only fine you, we will start putting eminent domain on all of your stuff and put it back under the government, because government sometimes runs slow, but it doesn't break like that.
Yeah. And still broken because it's still continuing.
Mhm.
Those,
So
those
yeah, I
places
mean,
are-
I find it interesting that, now we've got Republicans going head to head. You don't see a lot of
I'll take it.
Republicans
No, you
coming
don't
out
see
and
that
being
much.
like, yay, data centers. Like, there's a few, but there's not many. And so now they're going against each other, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm out here for this. Where's the fucking popcorn? Hell yeah, I want to watch this shit.
Exactly. Can I add to why they're so scared? Because of Utah. Fucking Utah, you beautiful state where I went to college. We were state for life. They came out, they had those 3 awful county commissioners. Remember, they had like 1,000 people in the audience, and they were getting too rowdy, right? And then they went into the back room, they still had it taped, and then they were like, we're gonna pass this anyways. And 2 of the 3 were up for re-election, and they got booted. They lost in their primary, and because Utah is so Republican, once they lose in that primary, it's like their election day. But this one was the kicker. It was Stuart Adams, who was the Utah Senate president, 22 years into that seat, and he lost it too. He lost his primary.
He lost his primary.
And that's Utah. That is the heart. Utah. There's a documentary that I watched years ago called "If Kansas Goes," how Kansas goes, the other states go, right? And that's Utah for Republicans. How Utah goes is how the Republicans. And that was a shockwave. Oh, that was beautiful. That was like, yes, Utah.
That's awesome.
It is heating up, and people are not backing off of it either. It's just getting bigger across the country. People are tired. You're adding into this the flock camera controversy. Nobody wants flock cameras. Nobody wants all of this surveillance that these data centers are for. Like, that's the whole point of all these data centers. And so
Did you see
people
what
are
happened
pushing
with
back.
Flock?
What's that?
With one of the big flock contracts?
Maybe
this
I
last
didn't.
week, there was, and I can't remember what city it was, but the city commission was, they were brought a question about, because they were renewing their flock contract. And I can't remember what city it was, but I can remember the votes. So they renewed the contract 5-2, but the flock representative that was there said that they could not produce a heat map that followed a license plate around town. And then the sheriff was at that meeting, and he's like, what? And he talked to some people on his staff, and they're like, no, that's exactly what they do. Let me show you. Showed it to him. He called the commission back, said that the guy from Flock lied. The commission then voted 7-0 to end the Flock contract.
Hell yeah.
I need to grab
continue it, but then they all cut it off at the end. And that's one of the things that people forget. It's like, if you are representing the people, when you do something against the people, either our representation is going to change what happens, or we're going to change our representation. That is the beautiful part about how this works. And in a lot of states, they have recall abilities.
Montana does.
Yeah.
Hot recall
Takes a
song.
little while.
Just saying, hot recall song. I love it. I love it. It's interesting to see that too. I was watching a clip the other day, might have even been today, of Hillary Clinton. Actually, she was talking about this election cycle, and I thought what she had to say was pretty profound in terms of she was talking about the disenfranchisement of Gen Z and the younger generation, and even millennials at this point, right? And part of what she said, the part that really stuck with me, was she said that right now in this election cycle, we have to prove that democracy works, because if it doesn't, that's it. Nobody's going to subscribe anymore. Like, this
Yeah.
is our last opportunity to really prove that the foundational premise of our country still works and is still functional for the people. If we don't do it now, game's over. Like, that's it. You
Hillary
know,
said that today.
democracy as we know it is no longer.
Well, the United States democracy is definitely in some decline right now. Hopefully, we have a chance to actually fix it, because we can make it better. We can make it something that people actually, know works and are part of. It's going to take time. It's not an instant fix, but there are ways to do it. The problem is, I think we have a bunch of people that are sort of nihilistic, that are going, you know what, just burn it all to the ground. And to them, I say, that is an option. Just remember that when we start those fires, the first people to die are the old, the infirm, and the disabled. So if you want to get rid of all of those people in your life, yeah, that seems like a much more viable option. I personally have lots of people that are disabled that are friends, have lots of people that are older that are friends. I would like them not to be dead and for our country to be great. And that requires us to do some things like get money out of politics. So in case you're wondering, I-194, it's the Transparent Election Initiative. It gets dark money out of politics. It is absolutely something that you must do. And Cari, I'm just going to ask you this. I already know the answer, but are you accepting PAC money?
No.
Are you accepting money from large corporations like Quantica?
Do you know, I shit you not, that I've actually been accused of that by a so-called buddy friend of mine that has been in this fight with me. She's telling people in fucking billions that I took money from Quantica and I'm a Quantica plant.
You took money from
Now
Quantica?
You're the plant? What the hell? This is too, I can't. This is a lot of botany. I cannot understand the botany in this election.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
just
going
a lot
to
of flora
Seattle.
and fauna.
I'm going to call
I can't understand.
I'm going to have a little chat with Planthony at the gay plant store, and we're going to find out what exactly is going on. Because I'm concerned.
I didn't even put together.
I'm starting to feel like this is, what's that Rick Moranis movie, Little Shop of Horrors or whatever?
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, that's a great musical.
Oh my gosh. No, but I was just flabbergasted. I was like, me of all people. Okay. You know what I mean? Like me, Working for Family Foundation. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense.
That'd be like me working for the Family Foundation. Me and
exactly, right?
We're like this. I'm on top. Anyway.
Because they are, right? You know it. I know, as a woman who fought for gay rights, and I've been, besties with, you just can tell it, guys, and be like, yep, that's a bottom. I'm just saying it. Yep. I'm just saying it.
Right. Well, Braxton Mitchell had to be told to not have Grindr on his phone during sessions, so.
I do want to harken back just a little bit though, to what you were talking about, people who are just burn it all down, right? Mm-hmm. While I understand the sentiment, I want to say that that's weak sauce. That is weak sauce. If you are too afraid to step in the ring and throw the punches and do the work to fight these guys, it's a cop-out to say, oh, well, we'll just burn it all down. No, get in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know if they realize how much work it is to build something from ashes. It's generally easier to fix a building if it's still standing. Replacing a building is a lot of work. It also requires you to clean out the ground that it's on, redo the foundation, start all over, remediate the site,
all that
get rid of the lead.
is to say, all that metaphorically is to say that to rebuild an entire system is not only arduous and a lot harder than just getting in the ring and starting to fight for what you believe. Fight for this country, fight for your community, fight for your people, fight for what is right.
Yeah. Oh.
And that brings me,
don't take
what a
the cheap way out.
Segue that is, because that brings me to the other website that I built.
Oh my God. I gotta stand outside. It's too hot in my garage.
I love how I segue and don't know it.
Right? Exactly. So here is the other way that you can get involved. So if you don't know,
this is interesting. Oh, my county does not like me. Is it Dems?
Well, here is the information on your county. Is this Dan's? No, I built this.
No. Is this
So as you can
is
see,
this Democrats or is this everybody?
this is county central committees for the Democrats.
Oh, okay.
I don't care that the Republicans
cool.
have central committees. That's great. It says Montana Democratic Party in tiny text up here at the top, but the county central committees. I might make that bigger.
Already
But you can
squinting. I'm already getting some wrinkles. So
right,
okay.
that's right. You can see which counties have meetings coming up and where they're at, so that you can go to them.
Oh.
And if you're in one of these counties that doesn't have one, you can start one. And so you can see all of the information about the different county central committees. We also have on here the Fort Peck Tribal Committee, which is great. They're obviously not county based; they're based on tribal lands, but they do meet as well. And if they have socials or whatever, you can see them. The one obviously that I know the most about is Lewis and Clark, so I have the most information on them. Although Missoula does have a big chunk of information on them as well. And you can go to their website, you can contact them directly. So if you're wondering how to get involved, this is how you get involved. So for the people that think that there's, I just don't know how to get involved. I mean, I looked at the Montana Democrats website. I didn't know both these websites exist. And they're important for people to check out. So take a look at them, become part of the local organizers, and you can help local candidates. You don't have to worry about the national races. You don't even have to worry about the bigger Senate races. You could help county commissioners. You can help clerks and recorders. You can help justice of the peace. You can help state Senate. You can do write-in stuff, whatever it is that you need to do. But you can literally get involved today. And right now, we have 69 days left until the election. Because I'm 12. But we have 69 days left until the election. And in those 69 days, we really only have about 45 that are actually useful because ballots will be out and most people will have turned them in those last 15 days. So it's right now.
Election day is October 10th.
Get out there in front of people. Well, technically it's November 3rd, but.
No, in Montana because those houses are 10th. And I also did. I was 9th, but sometimes they hit the house by the 10th. So you should be hitting those doors by the 10th or 11th. Okay, but I also want to say this. It is super, if you were to come on to like a race and help a state Senate race or a state rep, it's really just us. There isn't a team. So like if there's any kind of like intimidation of like, oh, I don't know, I've never knocked doors before, or I don't know, I've never, I don't want to deal with like the communication director, the field director. That's not how it works in Montana. Nobody had money for that.
Right?
So it's all of like if you're like, hey, I want to go walk with Cari, you get to come walk with Cari. And I could teach you all the tricks. Right. I walk doors. I've probably knocked like thousands and thousands of doors throughout this country. I love doors. If you like, I am like jittery to like, I'm like, let's get on these doors. Like I adore the doors. So if you guys ever want to come out and help me, Senate District 22, Billings, Montana, west of Main Street, all the way up to Shepherd.
Cool.
Neighbors
you're going to be in Helena on the 19th, but what for?
For data centers. So we're going to be doing a presentation on data centers. I don't know the 411 on it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the 411 on it just yet, but I'll get it. And then I'll be on the 26th in Glendive. And then on October 7th, we're going to have a big meeting in my district at the Medicine Crow Middle School.
Yeah. And then October 10th, ballots drop. Everybody who's smart is going to fill them out right away. Hey, do you guys know why you need to fill out your ballot and turn it in right away?
So it gets counted and then you get off the list.
Yeah, but what list is that, Cari? What list is that?
Campaign. So if you don't want those mailers, if you don't want
it is the list that once your ballot is in, they will not text you, they will not email you because they know your vote is in. They can't do anything.
You're done. Like they will ghost you.
Way to shut your phone up. Yeah. Right? It is great. So if you don't want to be bothered anymore, you turn in your ballot right away. The day it shows up, you look down there. Especially because it's going to
be that U.S. Senate.
There's that write-in for Cari Olson. There's the vote for Angeline Cheek. That's great. On the other ballot, you see Kev Ham. You go, that's awesome. You vote for the people that you like, and then you walk it down to the elections office in your county, and you hand it in and you make sure it gets there, and you get your little voted sticker, and then they'll mark it that you have voted, your ballot is in.
Yeah.
And people will stop fucking calling.
Wait, I gotta ask: is Cheeks running against Patterson?
Yep.
Jeff Patterson. Is that that race?
Yep.
I do want to say about Patterson though. I want to say what is a good man, and he's done data centers. There we go.
Yeah,
I think that needs to be said.
I think it's super exciting that Angeline is running, and I would definitely vote for her because it gives a native voice on there. She's incredibly bright. She knows her stuff. It's a good perspective to have on that thing. It's great. But for the Republicans to put up Jeff Patterson and chose him in the primary because they had the option to choose Jeremy Trebas.
And he worked pretty handily, right?
Far better choice. Well, oh yeah, very handily. Because if you've ever met Jeremy Trebas, you would realize that you never want to do that again. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird times where it's like, I would still vote for Angeline 100%.
Yeah.
And I'll be bummed if she doesn't win. But the Republicans have put up somebody that I can deal with.
Honestly,
which I'm sure the Republicans are not saying about me.
I gotta tell you,
the Republicans all hate me. So
he called me back in January, and he's like, had to through SB 212. No one's radar. It wasn't on any of the none of this, right? And so, so that evening, I made sure that everyone knew about SB 212. And this whole time we've been in contact, and it's just been crazy because now SB 212 is so prominent in our lives right now with these data centers because it stopped us.
Right.
Thank you, Damon. By the way, can we talk about this? I want to talk about this. I'm talking about this. This is why people tune into us to talk about Montana politics. Here in Yellowstone County, our county attorney is good friends with Damon, who the council.
Weren't they college roommates? Cari, your internet connection is actually terrible. Cari, Cari, your internet connection is really terrible, and you're cutting out. Can you head back towards the garage for this?
I am.
It's very important. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
See you. I know it's 9,000 degrees. You're like, I want to be outside.
Okay. So yeah, he lived with Damon with Damon. I've never heard him say that. He's never disclosed it. But this is why it matters. I just want to give you a quick timeline. The initiative language in Yellowstone was bad to begin with. What happened was the county commissioners supposedly told the county attorney, "Hey, we want you to test this. We want you to take this to court and test it." So during that process, the county, and I know this because I talked to Chris White, one of the county commissioners, in a grocery store at 6:30 in the morning. And I asked him, why did you guys add in Quantica? Why did you guys add in Quantica to the lawsuit? And he's like, I can't remember why, but the county attorney made us add him in. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, will you let me know? He has never let me know. And so I just want you to remember that. So then fast forward, all of a sudden they came out and they said, actually, you're one, we can't do anything about this because it limits the local government, right? So on data centers. But two, the deadline for the petition ended 2 days before you guys even started. And so, but this is what drives me crazy, right? He added his buddies in, and then he told the press, he's like, yeah, Quantica called me, Quantica's lawyers called me and said, hey, there's this bill and then there's this bill. There's this law and there's this law. It's his buddy, dude. It's his buddy. If this is not the good old boy club, I don't know what is. And then Commissioner Mike Waters, he used to work for GM Forte. And here's one thing that I will say about my political career. I never worked for a piece of shit politician. I never worked for a senator, a congressman, because here's our governor, because here's what happens. You're always going to stick to the guy who brought you to the party. We're never going to get Mike Waters on data centers. Never. So that guy needs to be recalled as far as I'm concerned. Mark Moses is too far gone into his Napoleon complex to ever rationally think about data centers. He's too far gone, and
all
so
5'2" of him.
all fight too. Oh, he's so awful to people. It drives me. The government needs to learn how to be nice again. Like when you go into these meetings, like even like when I started this like 10 months ago, and I walked into that county commission meeting, they weren't like, oh my gosh, hey, welcome. So here's the process. Here's how we do this. Here's how we, it wasn't like, there was nothing. It was just like, why are you here? Why are they here? And it's just this like tension in the room that makes people hate politics. Like makes people like be like, why would I want to go to a stuffy room with a bunch of assholes who are going to yell at me? No one explains to me what's going on, and I'm sitting there like, do I clap? Do I not clap? What do I say? What do I, And so just that's the part that drives me crazy. But I think it's a big deal that our county attorney is good friends with the general counsel. Like if you look at Quantica's, right? If you look at then share this out, please share this. I need this out. I have called reporters. I can't get them to bite on this one. I need help on this one because this one to me shows the good old boy club. This one to me shows exactly what web we're working in. And by the way, Data Center Danny, I know about Texas. I just found out about Texas. I can't wait to expose that. Mark Klein. Oh my goodness, it is crazy the stuff I learned today, and I'm like, yeah. But yeah, so there is a allegedly rumor because I don't have receipts to show you that Data Center Danny was in freaking Texas lobbying for data centers. Give me a break. Yeah, like, and then his boss. All these solar panels that when I first got started in this data center fight, I kept hearing from the Broadview people, it's just to build the solar panels. It's just to build the solar panels. That field of solar panels is directly connected to Data Center Danny. Data Center Danny works for Mark Klein, and Mark Klein at the time did these solar panels. So there's a whole field of solar panels put up by Data Center Danny, right? And now Mark Klein has gotten rid of that business. And now he's gone to power plants for data centers. What's happened there? Sorry. For like data centers. So now they build power plants for data centers. That would have been really fun. That I would have landed that plane. But anyways, Data Center Danny makes a lot of money off of data centers. Have I made my point? Do you guys get it yet? Do you get it?
I think you landed.
Yeah, Cari, like basically you're connecting the web of government contracts being manipulated, right?
Yes.
What
and
you're
I'm writing
doing
a book.
is you're right. And so, and again, this is my opinion based on what I've heard, but from what I'm seeing manipulation of government contracts. First, it was the clean energy contracts from the infrastructure bill out of the Biden administration to put in some solar panels or whatever the case may be. And then we come into, they're out. So now we've got to switch to natural gas plants because drill baby drill is in big bullshit bill. So it's interesting to see on many levels of government how these government contracts are being manipulated. It's not just what's his bucket who just went to court about that no big contract for $130,000. He was the state legislator guy. I can't remember his name. Outer Valley County. And he was Republican for the longest. And then they finally got him because he went to the other side on Medicaid. But then last legislative session. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember the guy's name.
I can see him.
That's one example. And then you can go all the way up to, the national level when you're looking at, the freaking reflecting pool and, a lot of, and you're looking at a lot of Ellsworth. There we go.
Ellsworth, there we go.
Yep. And you're looking at a lot of military contracts are going specifically to venture capital investments of Donnie Jr. So it's a matter of interest to watch this web, right? Like there's a process for these contracts for a reason. There is a bidding process for a reason. And this is precisely it. Because if we don't have a bidding process, then those in power can do the you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And they can grant things to people that are gonna line their pockets instead of having to have an honest open bid process. And that doesn't just hurt, everyday Montanans, that hurts businesses as well. How many other firms could have built those solar panel fields? Or, how many other businesses, maybe in good faith, could partake in these construction contracts? And so I think it's important that we understand that those processes are there for a reason, and watching them be abused at every level of government is not only wrong, but that's part of what I'm talking about when I say get in the ring. We need to expose
Yeah,
these
these
things, and we
are
need to
but at a
let these
state level,
people know
it's
you're
not
out.
really contracts. At a state level, it's really the bills. I mean, it's these nasty bills. It's these bills that data center Danny and his wife designed to attract data centers to Montana. I mean, that's how simple that was. I mean, it really is just that simple. They had those two bills that they needed to get through: Senate Bill 212, the right to compute, and then House Bill 424. That was the sweetheart deals on the taxes. I mean, that's how simple this was. And if you look at the freaking if you look at the voting of it, especially on data center Danny's, it's 50-0 in the Senate twice for the second reading and the third reading. I mean, but it's by design, because data center Danny is a really slime ball, and he knows to put it at the end where it's transmittal, where there's like 50 to 70 bills on the floor that day, and no one wants to stand up and talk about data centers and have a long discussion. But that's another thing we need to talk about. Not one Montanan ever came in on any of these data center bills. We just didn't know. And when I have my meetings,
that's the thing.
Yeah, it was designed for that we didn't know. And when I have my meetings, people are coming. Like, I was shocked as hell when I had my first one and I had over 100 people. I was like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because people are scared. But that only goes to show you, had we known, we would have been there in that last session.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and this goes back to, the Republicans as a whole do this whole, let's distract them with other things. They had the drag ban, they banned
culture wars.
They do these culture war things, the trans athletes. And we're going to have an entire slew of them again. We're going to have a pile of terrible bills coming from them again. And you can't afford to get distracted. You do have to show up for those, because we do have to protect minorities. We do have to protect the people that, need to be
But we need to call it out for what it is now. It needs to be called a culture war and nothing else. You know what I mean?
And we also need to be clear as to who's responsible for it. Because it's not Democrats going, oh, we need to trans everybody. It's a bunch of Republicans who can't fucking stop thinking about kids' genitals.
Did you see today? Do you really think we're stupid enough, Trump, and I guess we are, to think that kids actually went to school one gender and came home another gender, and then the mom's like, okay, Timmy?
Transgender for everyone. Everyone's transgender.
Oh.
It's the most biggest transgender for everyone.
Can we just get past this timeline? I'm so over this timeline.
Right? This is the darkest timeline. We lose Dolly Parton.
Tim
Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry.
That's terrible.
It's awful. It's awful.
I know.
This week has been terrible.
I want to slide one thing in here really quick before we get too far away from the point about paying attention, right? Is that part of how we are able to pay attention is we start really vetting the people that we vote for. We have to get out ahead of it. We need people that are going to go in there and read the bills. We need people that are going to go in there and critically think and be like, wait a minute. This is a little too smooth here. Where's the hitch in the giddy up? And so that's really important. That's part of what we need to do. Democrats. We need to vet our candidates right now. We need to pay attention to the legislative session, and we need to be going to our community meetings, these kinds of things. Sure. Is it exhausting? Yeah, but you know what? Now more than ever, our freedoms are on the line. And now more than ever, our livelihoods are on the line. Things are getting more expensive. We are not getting the relief that we need. And we are not getting the performance that we need from our candidates because we have not been as involved as we should be for the longest.
Yeah.
Well, and we also haven't elected people that are willing to put in the work. I would like to point out that I keep seeing posts from all of these people who are absolutely their flabbers are gasted about what Mayor Mamdani is able to do in New York City. And it's not that he's magic.
No.
Instead, he just does not accept, oh, we have to study that. Oh, we have to guess. Oh, we don't have the money. He's
He
like, nope, we
doesn't
can
talk
budget
it
better.
to death. He
Right.
doesn't
Instead, he
talk
just
it to
goes out
death.
and does it.
Yes.
Somebody said, there was the kid that was like, hey, Mayor Mamdani, this park hasn't been open for 3 years. It'd be really nice to have it.
Yeah.
A week later, it was opened.
And it's one of the most populated parks now, and they just have so much fun there because now they have the park lights out at night, and then the pothole. I'm sorry, I will go down a rabbit hole of Madonna in a second. I love that, man.
Right, but that's what it is. If you vote for people who know that government can work, government will work. If you vote for people who know government will break, they will break it. And that is where we're at in Montana. We have had Republicans who do not trust government, who have said for years that government can't do the job, and then they get elected and they make sure, because they have the power then, that government cannot do the job. They deliberately break it. If you want government to work and get out of your way, and here's the thing, I am 100% for small government. I don't want it fucking with me. I don't want it calling me. I want it to do the goddamn thing it's supposed to do and stay the fuck out of my life for the most part. And the only way that happens is you get smart Democrats in there, because the Democrats are the only ones that are actually going to do anything, and the smart Democrats are the only ones that are going to stand up to the corporatists and go, we're going to fix this. So it takes a backbone, it takes a spine, but it also takes enough people to have power. So right now, we're on the precipice of a blue wave across the nation. We have seen so many seats go from red to blue. And in the state of Montana, if we can just take the House back, if we can just have a majority in the House, all those culture war bills, they're never going to get assigned to committees.
Oh, thank
they're
you.
Not going anywhere. And then we can focus on things like data centers and Medicaid expansion and fixing the streets and rebuilding our bridges and telling Northwestern Energy to fucking get rid of the goddamn light poles that are older than me.
Well, I sat on I'm not gonna give names, but I sat on a Democrat call this last Sunday, and there is major discussion of putting up a major bill regarding data centers, which I'm like, let's do this. You know what I mean? And that's all I can say. That's all I will say. And one of my points was like, we're not talking this to death. We're not. We're fucking doing this.
Nope.
We're setting the tone. This is us setting the tone. And there were fucking people on that call that still were like, well, if this is how we're going to do it, I don't think I'm going to be part of that group. Bye. See you later. You know what I'm saying? Well, bye. I don't care.
Have a nice day.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I got to tell you, I'm hoping within a week, 2 weeks, I got some, hopefully with days. I got some big news.
Yeah, listen, you guys are nice about this. Like, we are in 100% a shit or get off the pot moment. Like, this is not, you're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be part of it, that's fine. But get the hell out of the way or you're going to get steamrolled, because we don't have endless amounts of time to spare here.
No.
And I also want to point out something else, a pet peeve. Like, I'm sorry. Over our break, I saw a lot of shit that really
We're going over an hour, Kev,
from a lot of directions. But
we've only gone to 58 minutes. Here's the thing: if we go over an hour, I can't restream it again tomorrow easily. Smaller pieces. That's why I want to cut off an hour. But here's what we can do: let's cut it off at an hour and come back, because we can go live again. Yeah. So let's do this. Allie, keep that together, folks. We're going to cut this off right now and watch the second half, because we're going to go in just a minute. But right now, I'm going to hold on. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my graphics. We're going to do the this. So we're going to end this, and then we'll come back in about 10 minutes. Okay. So stick with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Bye-bye.